It was a moment of sheer terror, a breach of the most sacred space that instantly halted the president's diplomatic agenda and refocused the nation's attention on the escalating war against terror in our own backyard. Imagine the scene. A quiet Christ Apostolic Church in Eruku, tucked away in the Ekiti local government area of Kwara State, filled with worshippers attending a Monday program. In a flash, that peace was shattered by the arrival of armed bandits, a stark, brutal reminder that the shadow of insecurity is reaching deeper into the heartland of Nigeria. Lives were tragically lost. At least 3 innocent worshippers, reports confirm, and others were abducted in a horrifying display of audacious criminality. This single event, a brutal attack on people at prayer, triggered an immediate and profound response from Abuja that signals a major strategic pivot in our national security focus. The fallout was instantaneous, forcing President Bola Tinubu to make a choice between critical global engagement and urgent domestic stability. The president was on the verge of departing for a high-stakes 2-nation tour, first to Johannesburg, South Africa, for the 20th G20 Summit of Leaders, and then on to Luanda, Angola, for the 7th AU-EU Summit. These are gatherings where Nigeria's economic future and diplomatic standing on the global stage are negotiated. Yet disturbed and deeply concerned by the security breaches, not just the Kwara tragedy, but also the accompanying trauma of the kidnapped schoolgirls in Kebbi State, President Tinubu suspended his departure. This is a dramatic diplomatic sacrifice, choosing to remain in the State House where he can be on the ground, awaiting continuous security briefings and personally directing the national response. When a head of state cancels a G20 appearance, it speaks volumes. It tells the world, and more importantly, it tells the criminals within our borders that the security and lives of Nigerian citizens are the government's paramount concern. The message is clear. The domestic fight takes priority over foreign relations. The first action from the presidency was not merely a condolence message. It was a firm executive order for action. President Tinubu instructed the police and other intelligence agencies to immediately go after the bandits responsible for the Eruku church attack, and he ordered the deployment of massive security reinforcement to the Ekiti local government area. This rapid response was partly fueled by a direct request from the Kwara State Governor, Mr. Abdul Rahman Abdul Razak, who sought immediate security augmentation to stabilize the volatile area. The governor's commendation of the president's swift action highlights the synergy now developing between the federal and state governments in tackling these threats. We are now seeing a flood of military and police personnel. Reports suggest hundreds of additional security agents being deployed to the state's hinterlands to hunt down the perpetrators, push back criminal elements, and establish a permanent deterrence. The objective is singular: ensure these criminals are arrested, prosecuted, and that the abducted victims are brought home safely. These twin security crises, spanning from the kidnapping of 24 schoolgirls in Kebbi to the attack on a place of worship in Kwara, has placed an unprecedented focus on the operational capability of our security architecture, demanding accountability and measurable results from our defense and intelligence chiefs. Good evening, and welcome to our special edition news analysis here on your favorite channel. If you are just joining us, please do not forget to hit that like button and subscribe to stay ahead of the curve on all the breaking news that shapes our nation. This whole scenario forces us to look beyond the immediate headlines and consider the persistent, multifaceted nature of the insecurity challenge. While the recent attack in Kwara is devastating, it is critical to note that the government has recorded significant counter-terrorism successes in this very region recently. We cast our minds back to just a few months ago in August of this year, when the nation celebrated the intelligence-driven arrests of top leaders of the notorious Ansaru group. Individuals like Mahmoud Muhammad Usman and his deputy Mahmoud al-Nigeri. These arrests were hailed by the Kwara State governor as a strong indicator of the determined efforts to rid Nigeria of terrorism. These successes confirm that our intelligence gathering and tactical operations can work. But the Eruku incident proves that the enemy is constantly adapting, striking at soft targets, and exploiting perceived security gaps, particularly in our rural and border communities. The sheer depravity of targeting a church, a non-combatant, civilian space, is an intimidation tactic designed to spread fear and destabilize the social fabric. This leads us to our related talk for tonight, which is critical for all citizens: the imperative of the whole of society security approach. For too long, the narrative has been that security is the sole responsibility of the police and the military. But when armed bandits and terrorists are using forest pathways and remote settlements as cover, the biggest weapon we have is localized human intelligence. The president's order for arrests is a directive that requires actionable data. This is where community engagement becomes indispensable. We need every resident, every local hunter, and every forest guard to view themselves as a vital link in the security chain. The question for us all tonight is, how do we bridge the trust gap between the citizens and the security forces? How do we ensure that the non-disclosure of specific security operations, which is sometimes necessary, doesn't translate into public anxiety or the perception of inaction? We have to move past a passive vigilance to an active collaboration, where suspicious activity is reported promptly, accurately, and without fear of reprisal. The establishment of local defense initiatives trained and equipped to support the conventional forces must be ramped up as a matter of urgency across the north-central states. Their intimate knowledge of the terrain is an asset no amount of technology can replace. The ongoing security operations are a testament to the fact that when the executive will is strong, as demonstrated by the postponement of a major diplomatic trip, the security agencies are galvanized into action. The nation is now holding its breath, waiting not just for the safe return of the kidnapped schoolgirls and the abducted worshippers, but also for the definitive arrests and prosecutions of the masterminds of these attacks. This is a moment of deep introspection for our security strategy, and it demands that we, the citizens, play our part by providing the eyes and ears on the ground. The fight for peace is a collective endeavor, and we must all rise to the occasion. We are looking forward to a time when President Tinubu can confidently travel abroad to discuss economic recovery without the urgent pull of a major domestic security crisis. That time will only come when these criminals are completely neutralized. Thank you for tuning in for this special broadcast. We encourage you to share your constructive thoughts and practical ideas on community-based security strategies in the comment section below. Do you think the increased deployment of military resources is the final answer, or is the solution deeper, resting in economic empowerment and intelligence sharing? Let us know what you think. And please, if you found this analysis insightful, make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel for all the latest updates as this critical national security situation develops. We promise to keep you informed every step of the way. Until then, please stay safe, remain vigilant, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.